But Mom, I never loved him. I only dated him because you wanted me to do so. I trusted that you wanted what's best for me.
Your Highness, do you mind if Duke Armstrong joins our meeting? He could be of great help to us. We have arrived. They are war prisoners who were caught during the war and exploited for personal gain. I have finally found you.
Is this the end? Is this how I die?
Who is this woman? I don't remember writing about her.
Maximilian, can you really not remember who I am?
Everything I've told you so far is true. The princess is preparing to challenge you in a trial. I can assist you in gathering valuable information about her.
Princess, Duke Armstrong and Mrs. Rosehart have been kidnapped by the Crown Prince. They managed to escape, but we have to find them before the Crown Prince does. Understood, Your Highness.
I'm not certain, but I think it's possible for the Crown Prince to have found out about our plans.
You remind me so much of him. Sometimes it really scares me.
Could Vivienne be...
How is she not dead? The prince specifically told his guards to get rid of her. How could a mere woman escape those trained soldiers?
I'm not really up for socializing right now. Just why are these royal balls mandatory?
Isn't that Alexander? He has finally returned from the battlefield?
Miss Rosehart must be overjoyed by the news.
Vivienne, my dear! How have you been?
It appears as though Vivienne has some sort of connection to this man.
This is strange.
2 new characters have appeared in the story. I know nothing about them. So are they my allies or my enemy?
Your beauty could stop the heart of any man in this room. Yet here you are, gracing me with your presence. The battlefield was cruel, but no sight could have been more worth the return than you. Tell me, have you missed me even half as much as I've missed you?
Such compliments. Was he perhaps Vivienne's secret lover?
It's been far too long. The kingdom has been different in your absence.
He must have been Vivienne's secret lover. Or perhaps a friend who had feelings for her?
And yet, I returned to find that some things remain exquisitely the same.
I see you've returned, Commander Rosehart. Thank you for aiding our kingdom once more during this fierce war.
Your Highness, after all these years, perhaps Alexander would be more fitting?
Perhaps not. Mrs. Rosehart, I imagine you must be thrilled by your brother's return.
My brother?
This can't be right. His behavior. No brother would act that way towards his own sister.
I have a great idea. Just you wait and see, Maximilian. You will regret having broken up with me.
There's something deeply unsettling about him. I didn't even feel this uneasy around Maximilian. But Alexander... Just who were you to Vivienne, to instill such fear in me?
I've arranged a meeting with the Crown Prince's right-hand man. Everything's up to you now, Mrs. Rosehart.
You've received a letter? Who is it from?
You scared me.
Were you feeling lonely without me?
Pardon?
I was out on the battlefield for so long. I assumed you'd have missed me at least a bit.
I have a really bad feeling about him. Of course I missed you. I just can't believe that you actually returned.
Won't you hug your big brother then?
Just get this over with, Vivienne. I don't have time to worry about Alexander right now. I have to prepare for tomorrow. I must convince 𝐒𝐿PS to join me.
Now that Alexander Rosehart has finally returned, I know exactly what to do next. If I play my cards right, he might even go further than he ever did before with dear Vivienne. Oh, I remember how she used to tremble whenever he was near. How she would flinch at just the sound of his voice. She thought she'd escaped him. But no, Vivienne, your suffering is far from over.
You want me to betray the Crown Prince? Surely you realize how utterly absurd your request is.
As the author of this book, I know everything about the characters I wrote. 𝐒𝐿PS, you will join me. I'm certain of it. Mr. Silvermoon, for years you've worked from the shadows, carrying out the Crown Prince's every command. But if he ascends to the throne, the kingdom will be doomed. Can you truly stand by and watch it crumble, knowing you had the power to stop it?
It's none of my concern. I'll be long dead before that happens.
It's because the Crown Prince is your son that you're helping him, correct?
This court is now in session to deliberate on the allegations against the Crown Prince. The accusations involve embezzlement of royal funds and participation in child trafficking. We will hear arguments from both the prosecution and the defense before reaching a verdict.
Could something have happened to Vivienne? Why isn't she here yet?
Your Honor, esteemed members of the court, today we stand to present irrefutable evidence against the Crown Prince. We have documents, testimonies, and records of transactions that clearly demonstrate his guilt. The fate of our kingdom depends on our ability to bring justice and uphold the law.
Your Honor, my client, the Crown Prince, maintains his innocence. The so-called evidence presented by the prosecution is circumstantial at best, and we intend to prove that these allegations are unfounded and politically motivated.
Very well. The prosecution may call their first witness.
Please state your name for the record.
My name is Eliza Thompson. I used to work for the Crown Prince's illegal child trafficking organization, doing everything from physical labor to stealing. I was forced to work under horrible conditions, with barely enough water or resources to sustain my health.
Eliza, can you tell the court your...
Of course the Crown
After reviewing all the evidence and testimonies, this court finds the Crown Prince not guilty of all charges. We will hereby conclude the—
Your Honor, my apologies for being late, but I have irrefutable evidence that the Crown Prince is in fact guilty.
I hope your plan works, Vivienne Rosehart. Our entire kingdom is at stake.
Just what could she have brought with her? Well, it doesn't matter, because I am certain the court will still rule in my favor.
If I may, this is 𝐒𝐿PS, also known as the right-hand man of our Crown Prince.
Silence!
Gareth knows everything. My life is over. All that I've strived for, all that I've built up to this very moment, it was all for nothing.
Mr. 𝐒𝐿PS has stood by the Crown Prince's side since his formative years, witnessing both his rights and wrongs. Now he has personally intervened to ensure justice is served, holding even royalty accountable to the law.
Mr. 𝐒𝐿PS, please go on with your testimony.
I was entrusted with carrying out His Highness's dirty work, from eliminating troublesome nobles to abducting children, all for the kingdom's gain.
Gareth, what nonsense are you spouting? I never told you to do such. You don't have any proof.
Silence in the courtroom. Mr. 𝐒𝐿PS, please go on.
Each assignment arrived in a sealed letter, meant to be burned after reading. But Mr. 𝐒𝐿PS kept them, knowing a day like this would eventually come.
He did what?
He must be crazy. This was supposed to be our next emperor.
I am done for.
She did it! We won!
Even if the Crown Prince paid me to rule the trial in his favor, having even his right-hand man go against him also puts me at risk. People would certainly have their suspicions if I still sided with the Crown Prince after this guy's testimony. After reviewing all the evidence and testimonies, this court finds the Crown Prince guilty of all charges. The severity of the crimes warrants the maximum penalty. The Crown Prince is hereby sentenced to life imprisonment.
We've done it. We have finally reached our goal.
I'm sorry, my son.
If you want to protect your son, you'll have to side with me at the trial.
And you swear to keep this a secret? No one will know?
If the truth about his true bloodline gets out, it could mean his execution. But if we win, he'll live. His life will be spared.
All you have to do is side with me, Mr. Silvermoon.
This was the only way I could protect you.
Little sister, you've certainly changed while I was gone.
I am truly sorry, Mrs. Nicole. That can't be. My husband isn't dead. Please just tell me he isn't dead.
Why does my head hurt like this? The more time I spend with Vivienne, the more these visions surface. Could she be the traitor? Could my suspicions really be correct about her? Is she truly...
My lord, an urgent letter from the military.
Seems I'll be returning to the battlefield sooner than I expected.
Would you like to say your goodbyes to Miss Rosehart, my lord?
I am going to respect her wishes. If she no longer wants to see me, then I'll have to accept that. My feelings do not matter in this case.
The princess has now been promoted to crown princess. I'm finally through with the divorce. My ex-husband and my sister have been kicked out of the house, and I can finally rest. Ugh. That was a lot of work. Should I maybe go on vacation? Where to, though? Who is it?
I guess my vacation will have to wait.
I would have never thought that I'd see the day Alexander Rosehart would return from the battlefield. He will be the perfect ally for me. Not only is he obsessed with his little sister, but he also has a weird sense of control over her. I remember how much Vivienne used to suffer when he was around. Not even speaking without first being allowed to do so. How pathetic. It's time to set my plan in motion. If I get Vivienne out of the way, Maximilian will finally be mine.
You wanted to see me?
Alexander, I'm happy to see you finally returned. Do you perhaps still remember how things used to be between you and Vivienne?
She's my dear little sister. I used to love and care for her deeply, and still do.
Alexander, there is no need to uphold this facade between the two of us.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You managed to hide it from everyone. Except for me.
I should take my leave. I still have to tend to other imperative matters, so...
Do you remember how she was so powerless around you? How you controlled her every move? You've always needed control, haven't you? Remember how you learned it?
Is Dad hitting Mom because she disobeyed him?
Look at her now, acting like she's above you. But we both know the truth. You've always known that power over others is the only way to feel strong.
Why did you hit me?
Is this how Dad feels when he hits Mom? It feels good. I finally understand.
She needs you, Alexander. She always has. She was so lost without your control. Just look at the mess she's made of herself. She even got divorced. deep down, she's still the helpless girl who only listens to you. You're the only one who can remind her of that.
Has she really made a mess of herself without me? Or is that just what Mia wants me to believe? No. She's always needed me.
I don't want to hurt Vivienne, but I can't let her defy me.
You want to control her again, don't you? You can achieve that with my help.
And how do you plan to make that happen? You really have thought of everything.
I'll make sure she's alone. Trust me, Alexander. After that, the rest will fall into place.
Who am I? Why do these memories feel so vivid yet so distant? They feel like mine, but they can't be. Every time I close my eyes, I see her. Nicole. I can't escape this feeling that I've loved her more deeply than I've ever loved anyone before. But how can I have loved someone I've never met? I thought I had control of my life. I thought I knew who I was, but now it's like I'm chasing a ghost. A ghost I can't seem to remember, but can't let go of either. I feel like I'm two people, like I've lived two lives. Vivienne, why does it feel like I know you better than you know yourself? Why do I want to protect you so fiercely? And then there's this feeling that I can't shake. Am I falling for her because she reminds me of someone I loved? Nicole, Vivienne, who am I really? Who are you to me?
Vivienne, I'd like you to attend this event with me. Could you please join me? I'm looking for new connections. Little sister, you've always been the one to guide me. After all, who knows me better than you? You will come, won't you, Vivienne? I wouldn't want to attend without you by my side. After all, you've always been the one I can count on. I love you more than anyone ever could. You belong to me. That's how I protect you, little sister.
I will be there.
Great. Sleep well, my Vivienne.
I have a really bad feeling about this. I don't trust him. Whatever his plan is, I'll have to stay on guard. He's up to something. I regret to inform you that despite our best efforts, your husband did not survive. His injuries were extensive, and we weren't able to control the bleeding. I am truly sorry, Mrs. Nicole.
That can't be. My husband isn't dead. Please just tell me he isn't dead.
I've been searching for you in my dreams. feeling you in my heart, but how could I have forgotten? I am Damien. Vivienne, you are my Nicole, my wife. I remember everything. At first I didn't understand what these dreams were trying to tell me, but now I do. I live my life as Maximilian, haunted by these familiar yet so unknown visions. Each moment without you felt like a piece of me was missing, all without knowing who I in fact was. How could I have been so blind? I was Damien all along. My heart has always belonged to you. After all this time, after all the pain, my heart wasn't playing tricks on me. It's been beating for you, knowing deep down you were always Nicole. I can finally hold you again. I've fallen in love with you all over again. You're not just a memory. You're alive. I'm coming, Vivienne. This time, nothing will tear us apart.
She used to tremble under my gaze. Now she walks with her head high, her voice steady. What has changed? Where did she suddenly get this confidence from? She belongs to me. I will remind her of that. Vivienne, could you get some fresh air with me? I'm feeling a bit drowsy. I think I drank too much. Without her, who even am I? She's the only one who's ever been mine. Thank you, little sister, for accompanying me. I've always loved you, Vivienne. More than a brother should, perhaps. But what does it matter? No one else can have you.
Of course.
You've changed, Vivienne. Or should I say, Miss Rosehart. You're not the same timid little girl I used to control.
Control. Is that the kind of relationship Vivienne had with her brother? I've changed. I don't need anyone's control anymore. Especially not yours, Alexander.
You think you're free? You think you can walk away from me? No one escapes me. Not even you, Vivienne. Crawl under my feet like you used to. I'll remind you who you belong to. Don't forget who you belong to. You're always mine. If you keep acting out, I'll have to remind you of that.
My body, it's trembling. Even after all this time, this body still fears him. I want to run, but I can't. I can't seem to summon the strength to move. I can't even begin to imagine what the real Vivienne endured because of him. The fear, the control. How much pain did she silently suffer?
Vivienne.
No, let me go! Please, I'm scared. Stop!
You're all mine, Vivienne. No man will want your stained self now. No one will take my puppet away from me. How I love taking my anger out on you. Your helpless expression. How lovely you looked under my control. That helpless expression. Show it to me again.
No, let me go!
Was that Vivienne?
Stop!
Where is she?
Yes, the garden is utmost beautiful. You have to see it.
I don't want this! Don't touch me! I won't let him take control of me.
Nicole!
Turn the soldier up like never before. Rise above the flood. Turn the soldier up. Get ready for war. Paid with sweat and blood. It's gonna take everything you got. It's gonna take everything you got. I'm coming.